Here it says Ryan works for a delivery service. The function f of n is used to calculate his daily pay in dollars. So f of n is the daily pay when he makes n deliveries. So n is the number of deliveries. So what they're doing is they are multiplying the number of deliveries times 7 and then adding 96, and that is the daily pay. So this daily pay is the f of n, and the number of deliveries is n. So they want us to complete this table. Now there's two ways to do it. I'm going to show you both ways. I want to start off and show you how to do this using this awesome graphing calculator. It does the work for you, and so I want to make sure you know how to use this tool. So let's go to the calculator. If you click on calculator, it's going to take you to this. And so if you notice here on our graph, we just have an x and y axis. There's no n. So I am going to ask it to graph f of x instead of f of n. So I'm just changing the x to an n. It doesn't matter. It's just a variable. You can use any letter. So I'm going to put in, oops, it's not n. I changed it to x, plus 96. So what it did for us here is it graphed our function. So it is showing us all of these different points that make up the function. If I click on a point, it's going to tell me what the coordinates are. This is saying when x is 0, f of x is 96. Or when x is 11.7, f of x is 177.9. When x is 23, f of x is 257. So if he did 23 deliveries, he'd make $257. So it's telling us all of the points that make up this function. Pretty cool. So what we can do here is we can say, okay, can you just calculate it for me? Because I'm being lazy and I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. So instead of f of x, let's see what is the answer when x is 0. Oh, look, it did it for us. It's saying f of 0 is 96. If you do 0 deliveries, 7 times 0 plus 96 is 96. So that's the first answer in our table there. So the next one is saying, how about if n is 5, if the number of deliveries is 5. So if you just change that to 5, we can see it's 131. So that is the answer to our second box. Now it's asking us, what does that number need to be so that the total is 145? So you could, just kind of say, well, is it 6? No, that's 138. Just plug in different numbers and try to figure it out. Or you can click on our graph here and we can zoom in, and we're looking for what is the x when the f of x is 145. So about here. Oh, no, about here. And just kind of get it up there. Look, when x is 7, then f of x is 145. So that is the answer for that last box. 7 times 7 plus 96 is 145. So that is one way you can do it. The other way, if we look here, I will show you, is if we are starting off here, remember the number of deliveries is n, our total daily pay is f of n. So they want to find out what is f of n when n is 0. So we can just substitute it in. 7 times 0 plus 96, which is 0 plus 96, which is 96. Okay? Or the next one is saying, okay, instead of 0, let's have n be 5. So it'd be 7 times 5 plus 96, which is 35 plus 96, which is 131. Okay? Or the last one, and if you're doing it this way, make sure you're using the calculator to at least do the calculations or to double check and make sure you didn't add something wrong or multiply something wrong. This last one isn't telling us what n is. We don't know what n is. So they want us to solve for n when the total is 145. So for this one, we need to remember to solve for n, you first move what is added or subtracted. So to move plus 96, I'm going to subtract 96 from both sides of my equation. When I do that, again, use the calculator, you get 949. And then if I have 49 equals 7n, to undo that, multiplying by 7, I divide. So you get n equals 7. So this last one here is 7. So both ways work. You want to figure out which one you're most comfortable with, and there you go.